Titled The Mongol Marvel Genghis Khan's Grand Tapestry. Chapter 1 The Humble Beginnings Birth of the Future Khan. In the vast, sprawling lands of Mongolia, where the earth meets the sky in an unbroken horizon, a legend was born. This story begins not in the grand palaces of kings, but in the simple felt tents of nomads. Wind whispered secrets across the steppes, and on one such chilly night, a child named Temujin was born, the son of a tribal leader. He was destined for challenges right from his early days. Legend has it that he was born clutching a blood clout, an omen signaling that he was destined for great leadership. Young Temujin's life was far from easy. The vast Mongolian plateau, with its harsh winters and rugged terrain, was a school of survival. Nomads depended on their herds, moving from one pasture to another, facing off wild animals and rival tribes. Tragedy struck early. When Temujin was just a boy, his father was poisoned by a rival tribe, leaving the young lad with a burning ember of revenge in his heart. This event tossed him into a world of chaz, as his own tribe abandoned the family, considering them too weak to lead. From here, Temujin learned his first lesson. Power and respect were earned, not given. But amidst these challenges, the steppes also offered Temujin lessons. Vast open lands taught him about freedom. Howling winds whispered tales of distant places, and the glittering stars above shared stories of great heroes. All this set the stage for the emergence of a leader who would change the course of history. But before he became the great Genghis Khan, he was simply Temujin, a boy with dreams as vast as the Mongolian sky. Chapter 2 A leader emerges Genghis Khan's ascendancy. As Temujin grew older, the fiery ambition inside him only burned brighter. His early life was a storm of challenges, from tribal betrayals to personal losses. Yet, every setback seemed to mold him into a sharper, more formidable force. Gathering loyal friends and warriors around him, Temujin's reputation began to spread. Tales of his bravery, wisdom, and firmness echoed across the Mongolian plateau. But it wasn't just by the might of the sword that he won hearts. It was his unique vision of a united Mongolia, free from the ceaseless tribal infighting, that drew people to him. In a significant gathering known as a Kurultai, tribal leaders convened, with the majority supporting him. Temujin was proclaimed Genghis Khan, meaning universal leader. It was an unprecedented title, symbolizing his aim to unite the warring tribes under one banner. With this newfound authority, Genghis Khan embarked on reforms. He established a code of laws known as the Yasa, which brought order and justice to the lands. More than just a conqueror, he was a visionary who understood the importance of unity, discipline, and organization. Under his leadership, the Mongols introduced advanced military tactics and strategies, adapting and learning from every encounter. Their swiftness, discipline, and unpredictability made the Mongol army a force like no other. While the world saw him as a fearsome warrior, those close to Genghis Khan knew of his deep love for his homeland and his dream of a united, prosperous Mongolia. The boy once left alone in the harsh steppes was now its undisputed leader, setting the stage for an empire that would stretch across continents. Chapter 3 The Golden Horde Expansion and Unification. With the title of Genghis Khan and an undying vision, universal leader looked beyond the vast Mongolian steppes. His ambition? To unite the known world under the Mongol flag and bring prosperity to his people. The world was about to witness an unparalleled expansion. The Mongol army, like a sweeping storm, began its campaigns. They didn't just conquer, they assimilated, taking in the best of each culture, adapting and growing stronger. From the vast stretches of China to the rugged terrains of Central Asia, no land seemed too formidable. One of Genghis Khan's most remarkable divisions was the Golden Horde. Led by his trusted generals, this mighty force ventured west, conquering large swaths of Russia, reaching as far as Eastern Europe. Cities that resisted faced the wrath of the Mongols, while those that surrendered were treated with fairness and often thrived under Mongol rule. But what truly set the Mongol Empire apart was its incredible ability to unify diverse cultures and people. Trade routes flourished, ideas were exchanged, and a unique melding of traditions began. Mongol yurts now stood side by side with China's pagodas and Russian dachas. Genghis Khan's dream was unfolding beautifully. The tribes that once squabbled in the Mongolian plateau were now rulers of a vast domain, with the world's riches flowing through their lands. The Golden Horde was not just an army, it was a testament to the Mongols' unifying spirit. Chapter 4 Bridging Continents The Silk Road under the Mongols. The Silk Road, a vast network of trade routes, had for centuries connected the East and West, but under the Mongol Empire, It flourished like never before. As Genghis Khan's territories expanded, so did the opportunities for trade, making the Mongol era a golden age for the Silk Road. Caravans laden with spices, silks, gold, and knowledge traversed through Mongol-controlled lands with an ease previously unimagined. The empire's Pax Mongolica, or Mongol peace, ensured the safety of travelers. No longer were merchants solely wary of bandits. They now also had the protective watch of the Mongol patrols. Mongols were not just conquerors, they were facilitators. They standardized weights and measures and introduced paper currency, boosting trade efficiency. Cities like Samarkand and Kashgar turned into bustling hubs of commerce and culture, where a Chinese merchant could easily trade tales and tea with an Arabian sailor. And with trade came cultural exchanges. China's papermaking met Islamic sciences. European music echoed in Mongol courts. Persian art influenced Mongol attire. The Silk Road under the Mongols wasn't just a trade route, it was the world's largest melting pot, turning distant neighbors into close-knit global partners. In facilitating this exchange, the Mongol Empire didn't just enrich its coffers, it enriched human history, weaving the tapestry of interconnected destinies. Chapter 5 Kublai Khan and the Yuan dynasty, a new era of rule. Following Genghis Khan's vast conquests, his grandsons carried forward his legacy. But among them, one stood out as a visionary leader. Intent on blending two worlds, Kublai Khan. Kublai, unlike his predecessors, saw more in China than a mere conquest. He saw an ancient civilization, rich in knowledge and culture. Desiring to harness this, he founded the Yuan dynasty, marking the first time a foreign power ruled all of China. Han's court in the Yuan was a fascinating blend. Mongol warriors sat alongside Chinese scholars. Policies were inspired by both nomadic pragmatism and Confucian wisdom. The capital, Cambaluc, known today as Beijing, thrived as an epicenter of global culture. Kublai wasn't just a warrior, he was a patron of the arts and sciences. Under his rule, China saw a renaissance in literature, painting, and architecture. The Grand Canal was renovated, promoting trade and prosperity. The most legendary tale from his reign was of a foreign traveler, Marco Polo, who claimed to have served in Kublai's court. His stories painted a vivid picture of a grand empire, where East met West, and a ruler who dreamed beyond conquests. Through the Yuan dynasty, Kublai Khan showcased that Mongol leadership wasn't about mere dominance, it was about understanding, adapting, and integrating the best of all worlds. Chapter 6 The strain of greatness challenges within the empire. Every grand tale has its trials, and the Mongol Empire, vast as it was no exception. The very expanse that made it legendary became one of its biggest challenges. Covering varied terrains and cultures, governance was a monumental task. Vast distances strained communication, making administrative decisions difficult. The empire's rapid expansion had brought together different cultures under one rule. But blending these diverse ways of life was not easy. From the steppes of Mongolia to the grand cities of Persia, each region had its own traditions and values. There were also internal disputes. Genghis Khan's descendants, though united under the Mongol banner, often had disagreements on leadership and vision. As they carved out their own territories, power struggles ensued. Additionally, the Mongols, originally nomads, now found themselves rulers of sedentary civilization. Transition from being conquerors on horseback to administrators of vast regions was challenging. Over time, as they settled in their conquered lands, some started adopting local customs, sometimes even forsaking their original Mongol traditions. The empire, which was built on the strength of unity and swift military conquests, started witnessing cracks. It wasn't a sudden collapse, but gradual realization that managing an empire was a different challenge than building one. Chapter 7 The sunset of the steppes, the empire's decline. As the sun casts its long shadows on the vast steppes, the Mongol Empire, which once seemed invincible, began to see its sunset. For an empire that had achieved such heights, the descent was equally poignant. Several factors contributed to its decline. As the empire expanded, so did its vulnerabilities. Vast distances not only strained communication, but also supply chains essential for any military campaign. Territories were vast, and each had its own unique challenges. Protecting such a vast frontier from external threats became an increasingly challenging task. Then there were internal rifts. Successive leaders, while powerful, couldn't replicate the unifying leadership of Genghis Khan. Infighting among different factions and territorial disputes weakened the empire's core strength. Economic challenges also played a role. As regions under the Mongol Empire began to trade more with the outside world, they became economically independent, reducing the Central Empire's influence. However, perhaps the most significant blow came from the very essence of the Mongols, their nomadic nature. As they settled in the vast conquered lands, many Mongols adopted sedentary lifestyles, leading to a loss of the unity and fierceness that had been the hallmark of their early conquests. And so, like all great empires before it, the Mongol Empire began its gradual decline, leaving behind a legacy that would be remembered for ages. Chapter 8 Echoes in History, the Mongol Legacy. Even empires as vast and powerful as the Mongols come to an end, but their echoes resound throughout history, casting long, influential shadows. The Mongol Empire, under the leadership of Genghis Khan and his successors, might have seen its decline, but its legacy was indelible. In the grand tapestry of world history, the Mongols weave an intricate pattern. Their unparalleled horseback warfare strategies became subjects of study for future military endeavors. Their establishment of the Silk Road revolutionized trade, allowing for a significant exchange of goods, knowledge, and culture between the East and the West. This trade route would forever link Asia with Europe, paving the way for global interconnectedness. Furthermore, their administrative skills and systems of governance, particularly under Kublai Khan, offered unique blends of Mongol military might with local bureaucratic wisdom. This synthesis allowed them to rule vast territories, effectively ensuring relative peace and prosperity in regions under their control. However, their most significant contribution might have been in the realm of cultural exchange. The Mongol Empire acted as a bridge between diverse civilizations, promoting an interchange of ideas, religions, and innovations. In essence, while empires rise and fall, their stories live on. And the tale of the Mongol Empire, with its conquests, innovations, and cultural exchanges, remains a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity and its ability to shape history. The end. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the next. Please give a like and subscribe. Thank you.